guys like to rock, right? Me too. I'd love to keep it up, but I gotta get into this video, people. I got some cool records to show here. Let's get the show rolling. Get rolling. What's up, y'all? Hey, YouTube. VC. Welcome to the Cosmic Realm. This is Cosmic Vinyl. I'm Brian. Got a Vinyl Finds video for you here. Should be pretty interesting. Had a few of these records for a while, so been wanting to show them, just have not had time to put together a video. So, I'm gonna start this off. Hold on here. Let's just do it. They'll do it this way. Okay. What I'm listening to behind me is a little band here called Honeymoon Suite. They're like an 80s group. I would describe their music as, I mean, they weren't part of the 80s hair band scene. I mean, their rock is kind of, it's kind of on the verge of, it's pop rock, but it's hard rock, but it's kind of pop hard rock. It's comparable to like a Loverboy, would be a good way to describe it. I think they're a Canadian band, if I'm not mistaken. Seems like the first record that I do have of theirs, the hit off of that was I Got a New Girl Now, and I really enjoyed that song. That's my first experience with listening to a little Honeymoon Suite. I'm not sure what their connection is with Niagara Falls. I don't know, maybe that's kind of by where they live, because I think the other album had something about Niagara Falls on it too. But anyway, the hits off of this, Bad Attitude and Feel It Again is another hit. But yeah, that's what we're listening to. I'm not going to talk too much more about that because although that is something I picked up recently, it's not part of this video. It's not part, you're not in this. It's just wait your turn, okay? Jeez, sometimes they just want to jump in. They want to get in. You know, I've been forgetting to thank YouTube. I seen somebody else saying, you know, thanks to YouTube. You know, a lot of people, you know, they kind of badmouth YouTube a little bit, you know, for some of its, you know, the protocol and stuff like that. Shoot, I don't make any money or anything off making videos. I just do it for fun. But I love YouTube. If it wasn't for YouTube, we wouldn't have, like, you know, I mean, you can go on YouTube and watch if you're a horror music fan or a movie fan or any movie fan, or get my fan to face me here a little bit better. There we go. Or just like music, like we're into and stuff. Yeah, YouTube. Or if you ever don't know how to do something and you want a show me how video or whatever, YouTube comes through. So yeah, I owe YouTube everything for this channel. Sometimes don't bite the hand that feeds, so even though they don't feed, they just provide an opportunity. Anyway, anyway, let's get into this Vinyl Finds. I did make some notes here because I got a lot of information. I got a lot of cool records that I want to represent properly and adequately. Anyway, I've never seen this out in the wild. I seen it at a record store the other day. Decided to pick it up because I like the band and I like the record, and here you go. First record we're showing today is Kiss, Psycho Circus. I don't know if you can see, it's got the lenticular cover, which we used to call it 3D or like hologram or whatever. Now it's lenticular cover or whatever. There's the back. It's kind of cool. The pictures are cool, but check out the pictures on the front. I don't know if you can see this or not, but Peter's face looks kind of weird there. It's like long, or like they took his face, cut it in half, put in an extra piece and made it longer. It just looks weird. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it or not, but anyway, woo! That's Kiss, Psycho Circus. This is their 18th studio album. Came out in 1998, following the highly successful reunion tour, which was 96 and 97, which I believe is the last time that our original four heroes toured together and were together as a band. So yeah, this is the final album to involve all four members, although that's kind of a stretch after I'll explain some things about some facts about this record. The song You Wanted the Best, which is on the opening track on side 2, is the only Kiss song in which all four members are featured as lead vocalists. I mean, in all of Kisstory, that's the only song where all four of them have a lead vocal arrangement on the song. So, kind of a cool fact. Ace has a song on here called that he wrote and sings called Into the Void, which to me is probably the song on this album that sounds more like a Kiss song, like a real Kiss song with all four members. It just and there's a reason it sounds like that, because it's the only song to feature instrumentation from all four members. So they actually all take part on the song and actually all play their instruments. So it's not Gene and Paul with another guy playing Ace's guitar parts as Kiss sometimes did in the past. So, but the song was initially called Shaken Sharpshooter, but when Ace presented it to Paul and Gene, neither one of them liked the title, nor did they like the lyrics. So Ace was like, okay, let's not cut it out just yet. Let's give me a little bit. And he went off in a room by himself, came back within a half an hour, had rewritten the whole song and changed it into the Void. So way to go, Ace. Yeah, that's why I love the Ace Ball. Anyway, yeah, written by Ace, sang by Ace. Love it. According to Paul, if you listen to how he thinks about this record, he thinks it's an absolute fail. And around this time, Kiss was getting ready to call it a day. But before he put, Kiss out of their misery, he did not want this record to be their final output as a band. He didn't consider it a band, that Kiss was even a band to put this out. So, because of the lack of cohesion and participation, but no real band, no real Kiss album. So of course they came out with other albums after this. I can't think of the other ones. I'll think of it later. But anyway, you see, the reason for part of the lack of band cohesiveness was Peter and Ace were trying to renegotiate in their place in the band, probably money and everything. And, they wanted a new deal. And, of course, Paul and Gene were like, F that. These guys haven't been in the... we've done more as a band as Kiss without these guys than we did with them. There's no way that they're going to be considered equal partners. So, there you have it. And I'm sure that led to their final and... when I say final, split. Even though I thought they were on the verge of another another reunion recently. I seen Ace had lost a bunch of weight. I thought maybe, he's getting ready to jump back in the makeup and stuff. And I heard that they had been seen on stage together, and now they're in a full-blown battle again. So, God damn it, Kiss, what is wrong? Just it's money. That's all it is, man. Anyway, it's a cool cover. It's a cool inner sleeve, which basically is the same thing as the cover. For all the trouble and for all the bad-mouthing that Paul gives this record, it's a good, solid album. Debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 chart. Sold 110,000 copies in their first week. I mean, that's not... I would consider those pretty good numbers. It's better than some of the lame, non-makeup era records that came out. Hot in the shade. Hot in the shade. Anyway, some mentionable tracks on this. The title track, Psycho Circus. I've obviously spoke highly of Into the Void. Another great one is We Are One, which kind of reminds me of like a reunion kind of song. And yeah, I like that album. Of course, I love the artwork and the colors too. So, and I have spent entirely too much time on that one. So let's move right along here. Oh, I was going to tell you a little story. Most of these records that I'm showing you today, I picked up in the same store. It's a store called Jay's CD and Hobby. They sell comics, records, CDs, action figures, video game stuff. I mean, it's just a great store on Southeast 14th in Des Moines, Iowa. There's a plug for Jay's. Anyway, I don't know if you're aware, we have a band that originated in Des Moines, Iowa called Slipknot. I'm sure you've all heard of them, a hard rockin' band, metal band. Masks, Corey Taylor's the lead singer. The guys in the band are all from Des Moines. Corey's also involved in a band project called Stone Sour, also from Des Moines. Well, the bass player from Stone Sour brought all these records in. These used to be his records that I bought here. The guy told me at the store. God, if I can't remember his damn name. Oh well, it doesn't matter at this point. You can look it up. Stone Sour's bassist once owned these records, but anyway, he bought them in, sold them to the store. So pretty kind of a cool. You know, if you could follow the history of who's owned an album before you, it's just kind of cool. Anyway, yeah. It's got some pedigree here, these records do. So, anyway, moving right along, this is Megadeth's hit album, Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? Gosh, I friggin' love this record. And this is obviously a repress as well. Anyway, this is their second studio album. It came out. It's a thrash album, I'd say. It came out in 1986. Initially, it was released on Combat Records, but then Capitol came in and picked up, signed them to the Capitol label and bought the rights to the record. And obviously, it's been released on Capitol, as you can see there. It does have the Combat label there on the back as well, though. This is another recording, and I'm going to talk about some other recordings later, but this is another one hampered by drug abuse and drug addiction, namely heroin. This fella here is Gar Samuelson. He is the drummer, and Chris Poland here, another one of the guitar players. Both were addicted to heroin during this time, and were actually both fired shortly after a short promotional tour to support this record. So, yeah, and then Dave Mustaine and David Ellefson, the two Daves that were the backbone of Megadeth for a long time, both were homeless at the time. It's hard to imagine this record even being finished, let alone with those guys, two of them homeless, two of them drug addicts, and I know Dave had his problems with drugs as well. But Dave wrote all the lyrics to this, Dave and both Daves, and they purposefully wrote politically minded to raise political awareness of the climate of that time, which was the Reagan years. And it was described somewhere where I read it's a punkish political awareness with a dark, threatening, typically metal view to it. So take that for what it's worth. But this is regarded as one of the top or groundbreaking thrash albums, classic thrash record, right up there with Metallica, Master of Puppets, and Slayer, Rain and Blood. So right up there in the big four. So it's a great collection of songs. Got Wake Up Dead, which is a song about a guy cheating on his girlfriend, and then she kills him in his sleep. lovely, lovely song there. The Conjuring of Me. It's got, like obviously it's about hexes and witchcraft and black magic and the occult. And I guess Dave and Megadeth no longer play that song live due to Dave's conversion to Christianity. So I suppose there's a lot of songs they probably don't do anymore if that's the case, because I know a lot of their songs were motivated by the occult and some kind of non-Christian type stuff. So anyway, also looks like Devil's Island, about a guy who had basically was given the death penalty, was in put in a French Guiana prison on Devil's Island to live out his life there. He Sells, the title, actually was taken from a Reader's Digest that Dave Mustaine was reading while waiting room in a doctor's office. The article was, if peace was for sale, who was going to buy it? So Peace Sells, who's buying? Kind of a clever title. This is also, it's got Bad Omen, another occult song. Good Morning Black Friday, about a serial killer. It's got a cover also of Willie Dixon. It's I Ain't Superstitious. Originally recorded by Howlin' Wolf. So not sure why that's on there. It doesn't seem like it fits with all those other songs that I read, but it is what it is. Giving props to the blues legends. So yeah, this is right up there with Metallica and Slayer. So yeah, great record. Had to pick it up. I got a great deal on these records too. So this is a record that I've been hunting down for quite some time. I finally landed it. I lost several eBay auctions trying to win it. I tried to order it once on eBay on a Buy Me Now thing. Accidentally ordered the single instead. I didn't realize it was the Cult Love Removal Machine, the single instead, but god dang it. Anyway, I finally landed this record. This is the Cult Electric. This is a great, great record. Their third studio album. I Still Need Love. Love was from their gothic rock era. This was just the record released prior to this. They made a deliberate stylistic change for the band. Went from that gothic rock record of Love, which I hope to land sometime soon. I do have a cassette of it, but I need it on vinyl. Anyway, they made the change to a more hard rock, 80s hard rock style of the time. And to achieve that sound, actually they had recorded this with producer Stephen Brown, but didn't get the sound that they wanted off of this record. So they hired Rick Rubin to produce, and Rick came in and got them that classic 80s hard rock sound that they were looking for. So yeah, look at those guys. That's just a killer album cover. I'm gonna buy it I have a coonskin cap that I got my eyes on. I'm gonna buy and wear it on stage with my band one of these days. Here's the gatefold, pretty damn cool. I'll hold it there so you guys can see it. But anyway, Rick Rubin recorded this, got them their 80s sound. All the songs are written by Ian Astbury and Billy Duffy. There's Billy there, he's the guitar player. They've been the backbone, and there's Ian, the singer there. They've been the backbone basically of the Cult and are the only original members of the band still to this day. They wrote all the songs on this except a Steppenwolf cover, which is Born to Be Wild. Born to be wild. Always go for the craziness. What's wrong with him? Anyway, yeah, the Cult Electric. Finally, I landed it. Great songs on this. Love Removal Machine, Wildflower, which back in the day in the 80s, me and some friends of mine used to do some early band stuff. Covered Wildflower and Love Removal Machine. Peace Dog is another one, Aphrodisiac Child. or Aphrodisiac Jacket. Yeah, it's just a great record all around, but I love the Cult, so seen them a couple times. So moving right along, because I know that this is getting kind of long-winded. Hey, here's an idea. If it's getting too long, watch only half of it. It's going to be about 40 minutes long. Well, maybe not. I hope not. Hopefully it'll be down to a half an hour, but watch it in 2 parts. Watch half of it, come back, watch both parts. It's good either way. Both halves are going to be good. I promise. Cross my heart. I hope to die. Stick a needle in my eye. Anyway, moving right along to one of my favorite bands of all time. This is music on vinyl here, which is always a good pressing. Faith No More, The Real Thing. Love Faith No More. They're an American rock band formed in 1979 called Sharp Young Men. Changed their name to Faith No More in 1982. Real Thing was released in 1989, and it was the band's 3rd album. They had a couple albums with a different singer, but the lead singer here, Mike Patton, took over the vocals. He joined the band in 1988, wrote all the lyrics to this record in 2 weeks. That's quite a feat, if you ask me. Here's the inner sleeve here, not much to it, just some lyrics. This music on vinyl release sounds just amazing. Yeah, I love rocking this album. Not my favorite Faith No More album, but I'll land those eventually. It's a fusion of metal, funk, hip-hop, prog, synth, with a sense of humor. As dark as it may be, they still got a good sense of humor. Epic was their first big hit off of this record, and MTV played the hell out of that video. It was kind of a controversial video. Had the end of it where on the piano outro showed a fish flopping around out of water. So, of course, all the animal rights people came up in arms and raised hell about it. Where I believe the band assured everybody that no fish were killed during the filming of the Epic video. I've been trying to get my band to do that Epic song. I want to do it so bad. I think it'd be a great live song to do. So here's a fun fact. Guitarist Jim Martin right there, who's no longer with the band, and back in 1979 was in a band called Agents of Misfortune. His bandmate and bass player of that band was none other than Cliff Burton. Rest in peace, Cliffy. Cliff was the former bass player in Metallica before he was tragically killed in a tour bus crash. So yeah, that really sucks. But what kind of a cool fact, though. Hey, there's a heat. I seen the 1990. They performed on the MTV Video Music Awards show, and they did Epic, and I think they did another song as well. When I watched them live and seen Mike Patton, how he moved, reminded me of a certain other's 80s alternative rock band with similar stylings known as Red Hot Chili Peppers. And boy, they did have a heated rivalry. Anthony Kiedis actually came out and accused Mike Patton and Faith No More of hijacking their look and their sound, or their style, not their sound. I can see that maybe, after seeing that that performance on the 1990 Video Music Awards show, that Anthony might have a case. But anyway, speaking of which, a couple other songs off of this record. From Out of Nowhere, and also the other hit was Falling to Pieces and Surprise You're Dead. Great songs. Get that album if you haven't heard it. And speaking of Red Hot Chili Peppers, I just adore Red Hot Chili Peppers. They are one of my favorite alternative bands. I always say Blue Oyster Cult's my favorite classic rock band, but man, Red Hot Chili Peppers are the top of my list. I friggin' love that band so much. Anyway, Red Hot Chili Peppers are a band. They're a California punk band out of LA. They formed in 1983. They're like rock, funk, California punk, even some psychedelia and some hip hop in there. They're a killer live band, and if you've ever seen them live, they love to they're great, prolific musicians, and they just love to just play what they feel, and they jam on stage. Just a great band. A band that got me through a second stint in rehab, and I'll tell you what, a lot of good music and uplifting music, but love Red Hot Chili Peppers. They were one of the best-selling alternative bands of all time. 80 million records later, worldwide, that'll tell you. 16 Grammy nominations with 6 wins. Probably one of the most successful alternative bands radio-wise. 13 most #1 singles with 13. Also had the most cumulative weeks at #1 with 85. Also most top 10 songs with 25. And were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2012. Some good stats there, I'd say. It gives them definite cred. This record that I'm going to talk about, though, is Uplift Mofo Party Plan. Just as a killer record. It was the last record it was released in 1987. This is an obvious repress on Capitol. But nonetheless a great sounding record. Last record to feature the lineup of Anthony Kiedis, the singer, Flea as the bass player, Hillel Slovak, and Jack Irons on drums. And I'll get to the reason why this is the final record of that lineup. The sound on this is it's kind of a funk rock style, some like reggae, with like some metal influences there as well. Just an amazing record. I love the early like Red Hot Chili Peppers stuff. It was a difficult recording process as Anthony Kiedis was battling his own drug addictions with heroin and cocaine, as well as Hillel. Both Hillel Slovak also battled heroin addiction. Anthony did get clean before the recording of this record, but he still had some lingering effects of opiate withdrawal. And as I can tell you, I can't imagine trying to function on just doing regular daily routine, or let alone trying to record an album when you're going through withdrawal from opiates. It's horrific, I tell you. I wouldn't wish that disease process on my worst enemy, I swear to God. And so he decided to dabble in it, just try it one time, just to get through the record, a kind of a one-time thing. And now I'm here to tell you that never works. You always end up in full-blown relapse, which he did. But he was able to write the songs to the band, to the album, and get through the recording process. So I guess you go from there. This was critically and commercially acclaimed record, more so than their previous record, which was Freaky Styley, which was produced by none other than George Clinton. So you see the funk influence there. Flea calls this their rockinest album that they ever recorded. So most of the lyrics to the songs on this are about the band, and describe their friendships with each other and with other people. It also describes there's some sex, lyrics also talk about just life in general, life in LA, so which provides a nice backdrop for lyrical content for sure. Hillel died of a heroin overdose in 1988 after they toured this record. It's sad as hell because anytime you lose somebody before they're even reach their full potential in life, let alone their art, it always sucks. So, and then Jack Irons, also the drummer, he left the band as well. He just didn't want to be in a band where his friends were dying, and he figured that Hillel had passed, that would be the same feat for Anthony. So, yeah, this was a tumultuous time for the band. So, fortunately, there was an avid fan who followed the band very closely and was a guitar player who mimicked note for note the sounds of Hillel Slovak, and that man's name was John Frusciante, who ended up joining the Red Hot Chili Peppers, replacing the great Hillel Slovak, and he would come in and rejuvenate the band, and they would reach their highest accolades at that time. So yeah, great record. The songs on this: Fight Like a Brave, Funky Crime, Me and My Friends. This is just front to back a great a punky, your California funk punk stuff. And I just love it. Love this record. It's great. Love the Red Hot Chili Peppers too. They're awesome. How about a little drinky here? I got a little Big Wave, the little Hawaiian brew here. Took a nice tug there. Oh, I like it. It's a golden ale. It is golden indeed. I'm gonna turn around and play some more music here. Sorry guys, but it's too quiet. And I told you, if you want, you can. I need to get a sidekick like Eric Weinbender that can change my records when it runs out. Anyway, this brings me to the last record. I know you guys have been hanging in there. I appreciate you, VC. I really do. And YouTube, I love you guys. This is a record that I am so glad to have right now. Sorry, I gotta turn this down. It's in my ear, and it's buzzing like a skeeter, buzzing like a fly, an old shoe. Oops, buzzing like an old shoe fly. I don't even know what that means. I'm just a weirdo. Yeah, I have never seen this anywhere. This was another one of the records that was owned by name unknown bassist from Stone Sour. But happy to get this. Guns N' Roses, Chinese Democracy. Man, I have never ever seen this anywhere on vinyl. And to get this for under $20, I'm not real happy about this, why they put that sticker on, that price sticker on there, but I'll heat it off. But I've never seen this out in the wild, this GNR Chinese Democracy. It's to get this double album, with Guns N' Roses goodness. I'm just happy as can be to have found this record. So anyway, it's the 6th studio album. This has got a weird history, so hang tight. It came out in 2008, but the roots to this record go much farther back to like 97, at least that early. I mean, this went back to when Slash was still in the band as a current member, and but gone by this time are the members that we know of as Slash and Duff and Steven Adler, Izzy Stradlin, and even Steven Adler's replacement on drums, Matt Sorum. Those names are all gone by the time this record comes out. Replaced by names like Bumblefoot and Buckethead and DJ Ashba, Tommy Stinson, Paul Tobias, Richard Fortas. So yeah, we've got a whole new lineup. The only stalwart from the same record, from the old Appetite for Destruction, Use Your Illusion days, and Chinese Democracy, and the person that owns the name of Guns N' Roses, none other than Axl W. Rose, whose name is synonymous with Guns N' Roses. You know, love him or hate him, he's a very talented artist, and you know, he's got his hang-ups, and one of those hang-ups is this record. This is the result of his hang-ups. This album almost became like a mythical record. It went for years and years, and we heard about it, and it never came out. It never came out. It became almost a joke to its very existence, if it would ever become a reality. It was, like I said, you know, people joked about, yeah, you know, like when Pigs Fly or when Chinese Democracy comes out. That's how it was. It was delayed by legal and personal problems, and Axl's radical idea of perfectionism. That's probably the biggest thing. And of course, when you had a full change, a full lineup change, at least one full lineup change during the recording process, then you're bound to have problems. It was a very expensive album to make as well. At one point, it was estimated that the monthly expense to record this album was $250,000 a month. Can you imagine that? And then in March of 2005, it was estimated that production costs had reached the whopping number of $13 million. That would make it probably the most expensive recording ever made. So yeah, you're looking at it right here, folks. But you know what? It finally did come out. It was, even though it was hampered by personnel changes, leaks onto the internet, gone through several different producers. Funding for the record by Geffen Records, the label, was dried up. I mean, they weren't going to put any more money into this thing. It was a debacle. But it took plenty of wheeling and dealing, and it took a miracle, an act of God, to get this album to finally reach shelves in stores. So here's a funny fact. Dr. Pepper actually, in 2008, Dr. Pepper actually made a deal that if Guns N' Roses could have this record come out in 2008, they would buy a can of Dr. Pepper for every person in America, with the exception of the guitarist Bumblefoot and the guitarist Slash of Guns N' Roses. I don't know why they excluded those two fellows. But I don't know why. I have to look into that. But and sure enough, this record did come out in 2008. Guns N' Roses were able to meet the Dr. Pepper's challenge. Unfortunately, Dr. Pepper wasn't able to make good on its deal, though. I mean, it would have been a logistical nightmare to get everybody like a coupon or whatever I'm trying to say here for a free can of pop. But anyway, so Guns N' Roses got their legal team together, namely Axl Rose, and they threatened to sue Dr. Pepper unless they would put out a full-page apology in some of the major newspaper chains: LA Times, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, USA Today, and Dr. Pepper had to release a full-page apology for not coming through for with their end of the bargain. So yeah, just some cool trivia. I'll give you a little extra here with Cosmic Vinyl. You get a little bit extra. I know I've told you that before. Anyway, upon release, this finally reached shelves. The reviews were, mixed, but critically and commercial success. Somebody described it as beautiful weirdness in the same vein of Brian Wilson's style. Great, audacious, unhinged, uncompromising hard rock. Good words to describe a hard rock record. Other people said some of the songs were ludicrous or brilliant. I mean, depending. Oh, excuse me. Depending. Did I just burp on? I'm so sorry. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, it's brilliant. I love this record. I got the CD a couple months ago, and I listened to it constantly in my car. And when I see it on vinyl, I had to have it. Here, let's get a look. Here's the front cover. I love the with the primitive graffiti there and the old broken down bike with the basket there. Just basically describes the journey that it took to get this album out there. Here's the gatefold, which is kind of cool. It doesn't have the lyrics in there, but it does have like everybody that participated on each song and what their participation was. I love the logo and stuff. I just think it's cool as hell. And then on the back here, you've got an interesting that star there. It's like a communist thing, I think. But all those little blood red guys falling off of the star. I don't know if you can see it up close, but yeah. And yeah, just a great record. I love it, man. I mean, this is something that it's kind of don't expect, if you do pick this up, don't expect Appetite for Destruction. Don't expect Use Your Illusion 1 or 2. This is a complete departure from well, I don't know about complete. I guess there's a couple songs like the song Better that has shades of the past on it. But Shackler's Revenge, Catcher in the Rye, which is a song about David Chapman's assassination of John Lennon. Sorry, which is a track that has Sebastian Bach from Skid Row on background vocals. Chinese Democracy, the title track, is a great one on this. This is, if I had to describe it, it's industrial rock, electronic rock, hard rock, maybe new metal in there. I was gonna say glam, but not glam, but maybe around that time, like David Bowie slash when David Bowie and Trent Reznor came out of I'm Afraid of America. Some of that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is great. This could give Trent Reznor a run for his money for sure. But yeah, Axl's vocals on this are absolutely amazing. I don't know if he can pull this off live today, but I'm telling you, I love it. It sounds great. Worth the hype? Does it live up to the hype? Is it worth all the 10 or 15 years it took to get where it's at? I guess you'll just have to listen and decide for yourself. I'm glad to own it. I love this record. That's my last record. I'm sorry that this is so long. Like I said, you could either watch it in a 2-part or whatever, but you know what? Cheers, VC. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. And, keep pumping out videos, vinyl community. Keep on, getting records and keep on sharing, too. When you get, no matter if you think it's a grail or think people are going to be interested or not, show it. Because there's so much, everybody's got a different, like Eric Weinbender says, we all have like eclectic tastes, and I say, you know, if whether it's a grail or not, show it, because it always has got something's always going to strike a chord with somebody, and it's always going to be nostalgic. It's going to bring back memories for somebody. Music is amazing, and it's what unites all of us. So yeah, tip of the hat to you guys in the vinyl community, man. Cheers. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm going to film another one maybe real quick here, and I'll put them both out back to back. I got another Vinyl Finds video in me. But you guys have a great night tonight, man. A great evening. Have a great day tomorrow, man. Just love each other out there. Love humanity, man. And don't give up on it. It's still good. People are still fundamentally good. So love you guys, man. Peace out. And always reach for the cosmos. It's my new tagline, maybe. Reach for the cosmos. Reach for the stars. Reach for the sky. And you can achieve greatness.